Just want to shoot a video about removing a power steering rack in a 2010 Honda Odyssey. It's a 3rd gen. Basically, the first thing that you'd want to do is support the rear part of the transmission case. And then with that supported, you can go ahead and remove the subframe bolt completely on both sides here. I then loosen the fronts up just a little bit, but the jack here will support the subframe, and then you can lower this down. This is about all the space that you'll need right here from the mounting point, and you just lower the jack here. When it's in the fully lowered position, you can go ahead and remove the rear mount. So let me see here. So the black part there in the aluminum housing that wraps over the top of the steering rack. There's an electrical connector that you want to remove as well. The upper hoop to the active motor mount, you don't have to remove that to get that out. You just need to remove the upper bolt through the motor mount horn, and then the 4 bolts that attach the black active mount to the aluminum housing right there. And then there's 4 bolts on the bottom of the subframe. I don't have the moon yet, that you need to take out. And once those 4 bolts down here are out, the 4 bolts that are up there are out, and then the single bolt through the top of the horn is out, you can slip the black part out of the back of the cradle, and then you can pick up the aluminum mount off of the rack and then sneak it out the back. Then coming over here, you have the 2 mounts in the front and the back of the rack here. So it's tough to get in there, but this mount here, and there's one on the other side. This is actually a plate. I didn't realize that at first. I thought it was just a single bolt that went through. This is a plate, and then there's another bolt just a little bit further down. You have to remove the plate off the top of the rack on both sides. And go over here, you can see down in here, I get a light on it. See, you can see the bolt in the background, and then the nut with the bolt threaded sticking up through it, and the plate that's on top of the front of the rack there. This is about all the space here that you'll need. So once you get it this low, you don't need to go any lower with the steering rack or anything to get it out. And I found the easiest thing here is just to remove this nipple that threads into the steering rack completely. So loosen this clamp up. This is a new clamp that I put in. I like these clamps a lot better, and I would upgrade them to the fuel injection type of hose clamp instead of the wire clamp that was there. But take this, loosen this up, and then this nipple will spin in the hose. You want to probably go ahead and unclip this here and potentially move this out. Then there's a shield, and there's another line that you need to remove right there. That's a 14 mil. So remove that. And on the other side of the vehicle, we'll go around. Ugh. So on this side of the vehicle, there's, let's see, basically a bar hoop that goes over the top. So that pink bolt right here is one. There's a 10 mil just right here on this other side of my finger. This is a dust shield. There's another 10 mil just further down there, right there, that you have to take off too. You get it from underneath the middle of the car. And then there's another bolt down here. So then this, you can pull this metal hoop off, and then you can take the rubber isolator mount out. Then you probably want to go ahead and just disconnect this. This is that power steering line. And then, if I can reach it here, there's a little 10 mil just right outside of the focus here, right there. That's that metal bracket that holds that line on. I would go ahead and take that off as well. And then I think that's pretty much it. I would take off I would strip the rack out. So I would take the tie rod end off on both sides. I would leave the inner tie rod end. A couple videos that I've seen said take the rack out of the passenger side, and I did that on removal, but going back in, I went through the driver's side and it was a lot easier, and I would recommend that. So let's go over the driver's side. So, and you can see here I removed this and this bolt as well, and I just ever so slightly loosened up the front mount there. Coming around here, what you want to do is kind of, once the rack is free, you want to pull it a little and then tip it forward. So the front of the rack, you want to tip so that it's level, and then it'll come, so the rack's kind of angled like this up through the driver's footwell. You want to tip it like this and then pull it straight out, and it comes right out. You don't have to go crazy giving yourself a lot of space right here to get it out, and it's just easier to get the rack out that way. So that's some of the things that I did. I went ahead, I removed the end link here. You can see that the lower control arms are gone, but I didn't need to do that, but I'm replacing all the bushings with that as well while I'm here. And other than that, it was pretty straightforward, and I'll have some videos coming out. I actually rebuild this rack completely myself, so if you want to see that process, you can see that. But other than that, I hope this helps. Good luck.